I wanted to make a video on the RSI indicator using Jupyter Notebook. If you're not familiar with RSI, head over to Investopedia. The RSI is a momentum indicator used in technical analysis. It's a good indicator of when a stock is overbought or oversold, meaning overbought is overpriced or oversold is underpriced. So when it's over 70, it's overbought. When it's under 30, it's oversold. Um, so, of course, you should be using other indicators to determine whether you want to purchase a position in a stock. But this is a highly used indicator by a lot of traders. So this is the basics of the formula. Of course, I'm going to go a little more in depth into it. Always read up on it. The NASDAQ. So what I'm essentially going to do is just look through NASDAQ stocks to see if they're overbought or oversold. I see there's 7,900 stocks here. I think there's only like 39 in the NASDAQ. So what you're going to want to do is download the CSV file there. Once you have this downloaded, we're going to use this in our project. So if you go over to your command line and open your virtual environment, you need help installing a virtual environment in the Jupyter Notebook. I have videos on how to install Python and also how to install the virtual environment. So you want to go to env/scripts. Test. So if you go to CMD, you can just open your command console, write in file there. So I'm going to go env/script/activate. And as you can see, I'm now activated in my virtual environment. Before we get started, we're going to install a couple packages. We're going to install pandas. And if you want to get a general idea of what these packages do, there's a package manager called PIPY or PYPI. And then you can go into pandas in here. This will give you some documentation on some of the pandas libraries out there. You can look this up for a lot of libraries. We're actually going to download the Y Finance library. So if you want to copy this, you can go ahead and do that. So once we have that pandas installed, we're going to pip install the Y Finance package. Just to make sure they're all those two are installed. You can just go to piplist, as you can see, Y Finance, and your pandas is there, as well as your numpy package we're going to use. So then you're going to want to open up your Jupyter Notebook. And go over to New and go into your virtual environment env, or wherever you placed, wherever you installed the pandas in the Wi-Fi nance. We call this RSI. Name our notebook RSI for stocks. First, we're going to start off importing pandas, and a lot of libraries in Python. You can rename them if you want to use something shorter. For pandas, the convention is PD. And then we're going to also import the Y finance package. YF. Make sure those both are imported. Then our data frame, our CSV file from NASDAQ, we're going to read that in. CSV. Those are downloads. And if you just want to get the system path for this, and if you want to take a look at the first 5 rows, you can do df head. And so it gives you the symbol of stock, last sale price, net change, market cap, volume, sector, industry. Okay, so let's say we want to grab all the stocks. Let's shorten our list down because it's pretty big. Let's see the shape of it is 30, 79. European. Make sure we're getting active stocks. They don't really say if they're active or not. IPO. So NA dot sum. And essentially what that is doing is it's seeing how many missing values are in um each stock, sector, industry. So see all the industries. So this is good to see. If you want to create a new cell, you just press escape B, and that creates a new cell. DF, let's go sector dot value counts. So most common sector is finance, healthcare, technology, capital goods, energy. Ooh, basic industries. Let's get all the energy stocks. So escape B gives you a new cell, df slash df dot sector equals ENG. Let's do another and Python to have 2 conditional statements. have to have two brackets inside, and last sale is under $10. Greater than, less than 10. So, of course, this is not an int df. So to do less than, it has to be an int. Change, net change. Last sale is an object. Okay. That kind of sucks. So, what if I created a vault? I really didn't want to do all this much. Um, let's just leave that alone for now. So we got all the DFs that are energy stocks, because energy has been a pretty hot sector lately. Energy stocks. And what I'm doing is I'm just creating a data frame, copy of a data frame that is a split image of that initial data frame. I'm just taking all the energy stocks out of there. So I have 222 stocks in it. Okay. So if you want to loop through a data frame, I'm going to go index. Do this a number of ways though. Index variable or value in energy stocks dot get rows. And let's just make sure this works. And as you can see, it works. It's looping through all the energy stocks, right? So as you can see, yeah, when you put the other variable in there. So if you just wanted, for instance, last sale, you could do something like this. So we're not necessarily looking for that though. Then, if it is a string, I can actually split this by this. So it's not really hard to like maneuver Python too much. If I wanted to just get the int out of there, if I went like this, that dot split on that. Sometimes you can chain your values in Python. So, anyways, I can actually build these into a float. And then determine if it meets one of my conditions is less than $10, right? ID ship for ID string with an int. Oh, I forgot to put a box around it. So once I do that, I can get all the stocks under $10, which it doesn't look like it worked. It's that was less than 10, huh? Whatever. Alright, too much energy on this, okay. So let's build our RSI indicator. We can call this, I'm going to create a function. It's going to call get RSI. And we're just going to pass along the stock value in there. And okay, so to create a RSI indicator, we need to part of the Yahoo Finance package. We need to get ticker package. We're going to place our stock in there. We're going to call this tickers. We'll create the next variable. It's going to be called ticker. So without the S. So I'm going to take the tickers function and then take the method of the stock. I'm going to do history. So RSI is based on 14 days. So we're going to use 14-day period. Oh, in Python it's 14D. Okay. So all I'm essentially doing is converting this formula. I'm trying to convert that formula into variables that equate to a relative strength index. And then I'm going to run the list of stocks through the get RSI function. And this is going to help me determine whether a stock is overpriced or underpriced. So I'm going to create a delta. So we're going to look for the ticker dot close. And we need the difference of that. And then we're gonna delta, we need clip. So at the lower price end of that RSI, down, it's gonna be -1 times delta clip, and then I want upper. I want the exponential moving average up. And up. COM13. We don't want to adjust. This is the reforce. And I want the mean. And I want the MA exponential flows exponential. I don't want to adjust it. I want the mean as well. So I'm pulling like upper exponential moving averages up and down. RS pulls MA up. Exponential moving average up. Exponential moving average down. Ticker RSI. 100 minus this is that formula right here. RS we'll add that again when it's true. Ticker equal I want to return this. Make sure to put this round function in there. Otherwise, you're going to have a very long number sometimes. Why is that? They're rounded 2 spaces. Then I'm going to return a list. Lists with bigger RSI. So G. So I'm just gonna run this hit RSI on first simple I find. Let's see. Oh, so that's the list of RSI for the last 14 days. Interesting. So -1. So -1 is the last one. So what I can do is for I in length and I1 should I do that? Yeah. Okay. Energy. So I'm gonna loop through the energy stock and pull out all the symbols. Like this last. So you gotta wrap this in a list sometimes. If this works. Oh, well, it helps to spell the column name right. It's analytical. Okay, thank you. List. Should actually just go like this. Instead of this. Just go S. So what I'm doing is I'm going to loop through these symbols and place them inside this function to get a list value. Then I'm going to add that back to the data frame. So RSI values. That didn't work good. RSI values. I'm going to append that to the list. And I'm going to add this back to the data frame. Should I put a print though? It's going to be annoying. Note to self, remove print statement. So, kind of a small explanation of what I'm doing. So some of these videos I do on the fly, so I kind of like want you to go through like my thinking of like, okay, this is the problems we run into. Like once we import it, we realize this last cell is not like a perfect inner float. So I was then thinking, with this list of 200 stocks, how long is it going to take for this video? Should I make a shorter? Should I make a shorter list of this? So then I'm looking at like last sale, saying, okay, well, let's do stocks under $10 or something like that. Which now that it's in like a data frame, it makes it easier to do, but you still have to convert this into a float. That dollar sign doesn't read as a float. That's why I checked. This is why I checked this symbol. It's not showing as a float, it's showing up as an object. I wanted to then see, well, let's see the value counts of like what sector to make this small so this tutorial is not too long. Because you can run it on all these stocks, but it might take some time. As you can see, this is done running, so it didn't take too long with 220 stocks, but you definitely don't want to take too much of time. So then what I was going to do, I was just going to take all the stocks that are energy, make a copy of the data frame, see the shape of the data frame so it's small, it's not going to take forever to run. And then what I'm doing here, I'm looping through, and then I thought, oh, let me just try to convert this to a float because I can split this string on the dollar sign in the middle and then keep the one is keeping the not the first part but the second part, and then seeing if it's less than $10, which still didn't work properly. So some stuff you just gotta mess with. Then here I am just writing out the function, and this was just converting the documentation to from the documentation the from the RSI to this function. So if you look into the equation, this is how it looks, and so I was using like upper and lower bounds over the last 14 days. And then what I want to do here is I'm appending all the RSI values from all them stock symbols into a list, which now I'll just like, I can add this list right on RSIs. And then you can sort from here. So, I mean, it's relatively pretty simple from here, right? So you can see now you have the RSI there, right? And essentially we can make a third column, next column, stating, you know, if RSI is over greater than 80, 70, we can create a column where it's overbought or oversold or so forth, right? So if we quickly just like look into the RSIs with the lowest RSIs, which makes the most undervalued, we can, let's say 30. Let's see how many. Energy stocks is less than 30. Check the value counts, D types, picture. It says float 64. Okay. There's got to be an energy stock under $10. Or I mean, RSI's got to be under 30. See, energy sector might be way up right now. Let's see what I'm doing. Average RSI. I just want to see the average. Let's see if it'll allow me to do this. List. Dot average. I spell it there. Okay. So then what you can do, import numpy as np. And np is just our convention we use for numpy. Np dot average. This should give us the average here. NAN. Well, that's great. That was a lot of work for nothing. So there's probably some NAN values in our energy stock. Let's say you can do value counts. NA true. Drop. The drop or something? And you're going to change this drop NA to false. So I'm seeing if like there's a ton of NA values. Okay, so there's 4. So you can't do an average on 4, you can't. So what you can do is drop so energy stocks dot drop. So I'm just going to drop those NA values and subset. So, oh, by the way, when I'm looking in this this functions methods or something, you press shift and tab and you can see a little of the documentation, which is super helpful. So I'm going to subset it. Column name is RSI. I'm going to do axis equals 1. I'm going to in place, which is true. Doesn't help much. Oh, maybe it didn't need that axis 1. So the shape should have gone down from 221 to 217, so 4 got deleted. Okay, now let's try our function again. RSI. RSI less than 10, 30. Energy. Energy. Did I spell that wrong? Well, whatever. Spelling was never my. Wow. So, energy stocks are all over the RSI threshold. Interesting. See ones that are over 90. So these are way oversold. We got a ton of them, 75. Oh, so energy right now is just booming. So essentially you can change this number around to find any stocks you're looking for. That's the key factor here, is finding stocks that are overbought or oversold. And of course you can change this you know method to look for even healthcare. If you wanted to just change this around to healthcare, you know, we can go like this. Keep everything else the same. It's not going to hurt it. Glad I took that print statement out. And it'll probably be quite a few um, stock that we're dropping. So you got the RSI, adding the RSI to the list right now, which is going to take a couple minutes because this was a lot bigger, I believe. Healthcare 1100 stocks in it compared to the energy, which had 221. So as you can see here, you can just use any industry you want, and this works for NASDAQ, um, all exchanges. You can use this on any exchange you want, really. You can calculate their price, use the Y Finance package, get a RSI on it, and then you know get a small little list together, which narrows down your stock due diligence that you should be doing. By no means is this advice to just use this indicator, but this definitely narrows down quite a bit of stocks for you to look at, you know, and it's very helpful, right? I mean, and it's pretty fast. I mean, we ran through 220 energy stocks in less than, 5-10 minutes. I mean, you can use this same code over and over again for any sector you want, and it give you an up and see what some of the hedge funds are looking at. I'm sure they're using quite a bit more, but this is one little indicator in your back pocket that you can use. So, if you liked the video, I know it was a little bit longer than usual, please like and subscribe. Um, until next time, I'll definitely, if you want to see any other videos or anything like that, give me a comment below and I can try to make a video on that, any kind of stock algorithm or anything like that. So, till next time, thank you very much.